massive Nintendo news dropped this week that you probably missed, and if it's all legit, then 2025 is shaping up to be a dream year for Nintendo fans. You're gonna want to hear this, but first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Do you guys remember when the Nintendo Switch 2 was first revealed? They dropped that price tag and everyone said that it would be a massive failure. It's the next Wii U. They're gonna drop the price like they did with the 3DS. Well, this one's for all the Nintendo Switch 2 doubters. Nintendo Switch 2 appears to have sold 5 million units in its first month. This was leaked 2 days ago, but hold up, I know what you're already saying. Apparently this report was not accurate. Nintendo is quoted saying temporarily visible data was for testing purposes only and is not accurate and not related to any sales result or projection of Switch 2. So do not take it that 5 million Switch 2 sold for June. Okay, so who's actually right here? Did the Switch 2 actually sell 5 million units, or is this just a fluke and Nintendo's trying to cover it up because they accidentally revealed the data too early, right? Well, let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay, so what actually happened? Nintendo posted what appeared to be sales data for the Switch 2 to its investor relations website early by accident, revealing that the console sold over 5 million units worldwide from June 5th to June 30th. This update, which has been withdrawn as of 7 p.m. Tokyo time, showed that the Nintendo Switch 2 sold 5 million units in its first 26 days on the market. Here's the regional breakdown: 1.8 million in the Americas, 1.47 million units in Japan, 1.18 million units in Europe, and over 500,000 in all other markets. This remarkable achievement has of course shattered records. It took 26 days for the Switch 2 to sell 5 million units, 2.5 months for the PS5, and 4 months for the original Switch. So okay, those are some oddly specific numbers for Nintendo to be saying that they were just placeholders. Well, let's see here. David Gibson, apparently senior analyst at MST Financial, okay, said, I asked Nintendo about the leak of Switch 2 data and they replied, it appears that test data prepared for a website update was unintentionally made publicly accessible. Temporarily visible data was for testing purposes only and is not accurate and not related to any sales result or projection of Switch 2. So do not take it that 5 million Switch 2 sell in for June. I'm expecting 5.4 million when results are announced August 1st. That's crazy. Game Rant is reporting the exact same thing here. They're downplaying the accidental Switch 2 leak. Now, like, look, I'm not saying that Nintendo is lying here, right? But what I think happened is that the data on their website probably wasn't fully updated yet. So what they're saying is that it's not accurate because they don't have all the numbers in yet. But like, this is super specific. Like, if I could understand if it's just said like 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, like I could understand that, right? I can understand like, oh yeah, like clearly it's some sort of placeholder. They just copy and pasted whatever the format was going to be or whatever the case is, right? But these are like oddly specific numbers, and it's more likely that the number is higher than these numbers rather than lower, right? It's not like they randomly picked why would you randomly pick these numbers? Now, it's possible that they could do that, but it's highly unlikely. So if we take a look here, one of the people that responded to David Gibson over on his tweet was Daniel Ahmad, who said 5 million is too low anyway. Now, this person I've actually seen around Twitter talking about Switch related news, and they are actually an analyst of the video games market in Asia, Middle East, and North Africa. They are the director of research and insight at Nico Partners. So the general consensus is that 5 million is probably the conservative number, with real estimates being even higher than that. Let's see what Reddit had to say about this. This person said, oh god, I don't think r/gaming can take any more of this abuse. That sub should be called PC Master Race Gaming. Those people there just hate gaming. The sub should be renamed in accordance with, and this is true, right? I think r/gaming is like the most visible part of the iceberg when it comes to gamers on Reddit or on the internet, right? And I think a lot of people congregated there to hate on the Nintendo Switch when it was first revealed, when they revealed the price, when they revealed that Mario Kart was $80. I think that a lot of the initial backlash and sort of the knee-jerk reaction filled with hate came from places like r/gaming or places like Twitter, right? I think that was really a big component of it, and then YouTubers kind of ran with that narrative because negativity gets clicks. Everybody knows this, right? So I'm just happy to see that other people on Reddit have recognized that there was this concentrated hatred for the Switch 2, and they're just wrong. They're just wrong. Sorry, like the Switch 2 is just successful, and it's not scalpers, it's just regular people just bought it because they have a job and kids, and they just wanted to have the Switch 2 because Mario Kart looks fun. that's it. 450 is a normal price point for a console in 2025. And you know what, I'm gonna be honest here, and this is for all of the people that were very upset at the price point of the Switch 2 and the anti-consumer practices. I have horrible news about the price of the PS6. I'm so sorry for what that's going to do to your mental state, but the PS6 is going to be way closer to 1,000 than it will be 500. That's my prediction, but like, you know it, I know it, all the adults in the room know it, and I can't wait to see if people have the same energy for Sony as they do for Nintendo when that day inevitably comes. And great news, it's also going to have $80 games, if not higher, because everyone knows that GTA 6 might have a $100 price tag, and who knows what that's going to do to the industry. So yeah, the r/gaming enjoyers are seething right now. They are just hoping that for whatever reason this is all fake news, but it's looking unlikely, and more likely than not we're going to be seeing a 5 million initial monthly sale figure come out when Nintendo does officially reveal it. They will probably reveal it at their next quarterly financial meeting or whatever the case might be. I guess they could reveal it earlier if they wanted to, but yeah, they said, I mean, it's r/gaming. They're the lowest common denominator Reddit user. They'll shit in their own hands and clap like seals to the jangling keys of low effort gaming meme from 8 years ago, and here's a picture of an Xbox 360 game. I don't think they're exactly the sharpest bunch, especially when it comes to their opinions. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, this was my exact opinion that I had when I realized how many people were like vocally upset about the Switch 2 being 450 bucks, as if that's like a crazy price point for a console in 2025 when the PS3 was like $600 at launch. Like, get a grip, guys. So are they really that mad over other people spending their money in the way they wanted? And this is the thing, right? Like, people on Reddit, like especially on r/gaming, they cannot fathom people just enjoying something, right? Like, because they think that it's bad, they can't fathom someone just enjoying it. Like, I got the Switch 2 on launch day, love it. Has there been days where I just don't even touch it? Yeah, like, I can't wait for there to be more games for it, 100%, right? Do I want Mario Kart 8 to be 80 bucks? No, I don't think the game's worth $80, but at the end of the day, like 450, 500 with the bundle, totally normal price point, not a problem at all. And as it turns out, it seems like most normal people agree with me, so I'm happy to see that. I've just been right time after time with the Switch 2. It feels so good. God, I'm just so humble. Anyway, let's move on to the next 3D Mario game, right? So this is coming once again from Kiwi Talkz, who we actually talked about recently on the video where we discussed the next Smash Brothers. If you guys missed that video, definitely check it out if you're curious to know what the timeline is looking like for the next Smash Bros on the Switch 2. That video got a decent amount of attention, so I really appreciate you guys if you did actually watch that video. Like, it means a lot. Thank you guys so much. But here we see Kiwi Talkz once again. He's quote retweeting Mario 64 here, who says Nintendo confirms Donkey Kong Bananza is being made by the Mario Odyssey team. Quote, the development team of Donkey Kong Bananza is the same as for Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, so when Donkey Kong Bananza was first revealed, a lot of people, especially if you watch the Nintendo Direct live over on YouTube, a lot of people were spamming in the chat, this was Donkey Kong Odyssey, right? A lot of people had that opinion, and for good reason, right? Like, it looks kind of like it. It's a similar vibe, and it looks like Donkey Kong is getting a similar open world treatment that we saw for Mario Odyssey, right? And here we have Kiwi Talkz quote tweeting that, saying this is Nintendo being coy. A lot of people don't understand how Nintendo works, and there's a lot of overlap within internal teams in Kyoto and Tokyo. 3D Mario is still happening. I'm doubling down on this, and if I'm wrong, I will happily admit it, though I don't do this for clout. He goes on to say, my source has never been wrong with anything they've told me behind the scenes, which is why I'm this confident. And this is super unsurprising, right? Like, on my main channel, I post content mainly for Rise of Kingdoms, and in the past, the same sort of sister studio released a game in the same genre as Rise of Kingdoms called Call of Dragons, right? And it's a sister studio. Technically it's a different like developer, publisher, whatever, but like, if you pay attention to both games and the way that they release updates and the way that they take ideas from one another, like, these games are very obviously like there's overlap between the dev teams, right? And so it is like industry standard that if you are a company that makes multiple games, you have multiple IPs, you have multiple franchises that you're working on, right? It makes sense that there's going to be overlap within those teams, because like, why would you hire like duplicates of every position when you already have people for those positions? And also, if they've produced quality work that people actually like, well then why would you risk somebody else doing that same job for a different project that you want to succeed just as well, right? Like if you've got people on the Odyssey team that you know could work on Donkey Kong Bananza and make it a great game, of course you're going to take those people and have them work on some aspects of that game, right? So what Kiwi Talkz is saying is that it's not like the entire Odyssey team has been preoccupied making Donkey Kong Bananza and therefore there's not a 3D Mario in the works. What Kiwi Talkz is saying here is that both things can be true simultaneously, right? Like there's going to be overlap in the dev teams. So yes, some of the Odyssey team members have been working on Bananza, but that doesn't mean that the Odyssey team isn't also, at least some of them, working on whatever the next Mario game is going to be. I think it makes a lot of sense for this to be true, and of course he's obviously very confident with his source on this, so that I'd be willing to bet that he's right there. And also, like, what are we talking about, right? Like the next 3D Mario, obviously that's somewhere down the pipeline, right? Like there's someone somewhere's working on it, obviously, right? Like as long as the world is turning, Nintendo's going to be thinking about and working on or pre-producing or producing or developing the next Mario game, because that is their golden goose, or one of many, and it's going to print money, especially after a brand new Switch console just came out. They're going to want to get that out as soon as they can, and as soon as they can release a quality product. So that is good news for those of you that liked Mario Odyssey. I know Mario Odyssey was a smash hit. I know a lot of people liked it. I personally thought it was okay. I liked the beginning parts of the game, but it kind of lost me around mid game. I prefer Mario 64. I prefer Mario Sunshine. I know it's because I'm 30 and I know a lot of the older people did not like the GameCube Mario Sunshine, but yeah, those are my two favorite 3D Mario games. I also beat Super Mario 3D World with Bowser's Fury, although I don't know if I prefer that style of like level completion compared to things like Sunshine, where there's a beautiful hub world and things like that. But I'm a sucker for tropical environments in video games, and so maybe I'm just biased in that way. Moving on, we are not that far away from the next Nintendo Direct. Apparently John Harker posted on a forum called Reset Era, and they responded to a message. It says, I'm kind of itching for a direct. I have a Switch 2 but haven't opened it yet. I need to know what's coming out and soon, or I'll just return it. And John says shouldn't be too long. So this was reported on today by other places as well. A new report has provided an update on the next Nintendo Direct, and the report has some good news. The good news is that the next Nintendo Direct is reportedly soon and likely to be focused on the future of the Switch 2. Obviously that makes sense. John Harker is a source who has provided information and intel about industry events in the past, so a little bit of a track record there. I don't know if their track record is 100% perfect, but definitely somebody, not just some random anybody. Right now, this actually isn't the first time that we've heard rumors of a July Nintendo Direct. In fact, it was also shared over on, I think it was Beat 'em Up's podcast, where he revealed that one of his sources said that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct in July, but when is it actually going to drop this month, right? And so we have to speculate a little bit here, but first of all, we know, okay, Donkey Kong Bananza is coming out on the 17th, so it's probably not going to be on that day, because it's not going to want to steal the spotlight away from their newest game, right? Like they want Donkey Kong to have its time in the spotlight, right? So it's not going to be on that day, or probably that weekend, right? So the 17th is a Thursday, so that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's not going to be in those days, right? We also know that the next Pokemon Presents is on July 22nd. That has already been revealed. That was revealed on May 28th, right? And we know that Pokemon is a massive golden goose for Nintendo as well, and so once again, I think that the 22nd and onward is going to probably be reserved for Pokemon, right? They want that to have its time in the spotlight. They want the news of whatever Pokemon is revealing here to be big, right? And I expect that there's probably going to be something about Legends ZA coming out for on the 22nd, or maybe the future of whatever the next Pokemon game is going to be. I think it's probably a little bit early to start getting news about the next mainline Pokemon game, so you know, I don't know if we're gonna get that now, especially because we're not going to see it until at least holiday of 2026. I could be wrong there. Maybe they'll tease a little bit something there, but yeah. So okay, let's assume that from the 17th onwards, right, because the 22nd is on a Tuesday. I'm looking at my calendar over here, and so that only leaves the last week of July, and like today I'm recording this on the 3rd, and it's obviously not going to be the 4th of July. So I honestly think that we're going to see the next Nintendo Direct either the 8th through the 10th, or maybe even the 15th 15th or 16th possibly. Those are my best guess for when we're going to be seeing this next Nintendo Direct. Now when it comes to what they're actually going to reveal at this Nintendo Direct, apparently Metaphor ReFantazio is going to be on the menu. They'll probably reveal maybe one new GameCube game possibly coming to the GameCube Classic. I know we just got Super Mario Strikers, but Nintendo, I'm begging you for a Coliseum release. Yo, we need Pokemon Coliseum, bro. Come on, bro, please. I am begging you. Pokemon fans deserve at least one good game on the Switch 2, okay? And Lord knows it's not going to be Legends ZA. That game looks absolutely awful. I can't believe it's going to be backwards compatible with the Switch. I can believe it because there's a huge install base, but it's disappointing nonetheless. So just give us Coliseum, bro. Come on, we need something, bro. And we also talked about Death Stranding. That could be coming to the Switch 2, or at least revealed during the next Nintendo Direct. The Witcher 3 as well, having a Switch 2 edition. This one is very boring to me. I'm not excited about that at all. I just can't, I almost can't believe they'd even bother, to be honest. I get it, right? Like, I'm sure that the Switch 2, it's gonna play it much better than the original Switch, but like, do we really need a 50th platform to play Witcher 3 on? Absolutely not. I can imagine Witcher 3, you know, I can imagine this being a game key card and they're just going to do a low effort, just like, hey, if you never played it before, here you go. But yeah, besides that, not excited whatsoever here. The big news for this Nintendo Direct allegedly is going to be more information about Metroid Prime 4 and a small hint about the next Animal Crossing coming possibly next year, which would be probably the soonest that we've seen a new Animal Crossing game come to a Nintendo console, right? Like typically it doesn't drop super soon, but when you consider that the most recent Animal Crossing was one of the best selling franchises on the original Switch, it would be a no-brainer for them to like accelerate the release window of this game, so that way we get new Animal Crossing in the hands of more people. That way people look back and say, oh, I remember when I played Animal Crossing during lockdown, right? It was so much fun. Let me get my hands on the new one, right? And I also know there are a lot of people that are holding off on getting the Switch 2 for the next Animal Crossing game, right? There is a diehard Animal Crossing community. I think everybody who's like in love with Stardew Valley, for example, might be looking for a new type of experience like Animal Crossing could provide. And so I think a lot of people might pick up, especially a lot of more casual types of gamers might really be looking for a new Animal Crossing release. And so a little hint there of Isabelle could be really exciting for a lot of people. But that's not the only leak for the next upcoming Nintendo Direct. Obviously we've got here, this person basically just tweeted out a picture of a Nintendo Direct leak over on 4chan, stating that the date of the Direct would be the 10th. So that would be 1 week from the date that I'm recording this, which is one of the dates that I did just say I predict could be it. They said it'll start with a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Release date will be April 19th 2026. Off to a bad start here when it comes to authenticity, 4chan. It's not even possible for this date to exist. Immediately followed up by a shadow drop of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered. Again, this is really questionable because Metroid Prime 3 did not come out on the GameCube. It came out on the Wii, I believe. So yeah, huge hole punched into the credibility of this alleged leak already. I mean, it's not impossible for them to just like shadow drop a remastered version of them on the eShop, right? Like they could, like, it might not come to the Nintendo GameCube Classic. They could just literally re-release these games on the eShop, or maybe as a dual pack, right? Like similar to Super Mario 3D All-Stars, right? Where they did that for the, I think it was what, the 25th anniversary or something like that. They put Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all on one cart. It could be the case that at the end of this year, maybe they're dropping a double pack of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on the same cart, right? Possibly that's a thing. And maybe you can download it digitally as well, which is why they're saying it's an immediate shadow drop, right? But who knows? That's just speculation. That's me being generous to this clearly or most likely fake leak. Okay, next it says they're going to show new gameplay for a Kirby Forgotten Land Switch 2 version. Okay, trailer for a port of Red Dead Redemption 2 coming at the end of 2025. Okay, followed by a port of GTA 5 enhanced for 2026. I don't know about that. That would be very bizarre for them to drop GTA 5, because GTA 6 is coming out next year. So why would they drop GTA 5 enhanced on the Switch 2 when GTA 5 6 is already going to be out at that time? Like I don't know, that seems like a complete waste of time. Trailer for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Switch 2 edition, which includes DLC 1 and 2 as well as Daima DLC. Release date September 18th 2025. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gets a new trailer showcasing the final DLC of the first season pass. Teaser for an upcoming Dragon Ball game. There's a lot of Dragon Ball stuff in here. I don't know, man. Middle of direct is about Mario Maker 3. Small teaser with Wonder Style coming from Mario's 40th anniversary. Okay, possibly. Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is coming to Switch 2 for 2026, and Black Myth Wukong. I mean, I guess I could see Black Myth Wukong and Clair Obscure, but yeah, a lot of this is like Dragon Ball Z focused for whatever reason, and then we've got some Rockstar games just thrown in the middle there. I don't know, I feel like parts of the beginning could maybe be like legit or like feasible at least, but it certainly feels like they just kind of threw the kitchen sink at 4chan and people just ran with it. Obviously a lot of people are saying that this is probably fake because 4chan leaks are almost always fake, because it's just somebody posting something over there just to get a lot of attention basically. Anyway guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, drop a thumbs up on it. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other people might see it. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a video covering breaking gaming news. For example, we talked about the Xbox layoffs like days if not a week before everybody else was discussing it here on YouTube. So if you guys want more breaking news, definitely sub down below and comment down below what you think about everything we've talked about today. Do you think that the Switch 2 actually sold 5 million units in its first month? Do you think it's way higher? Do you think it's a lot lower? Let me know in the comment section below. And what do you think is coming for the next Nintendo Direct? Is it going to be next week? Let me know what you think down there. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.